Thank you so much, Regent James, for joining us today on Sunday Brunch. It is really exciting to have you on, and we are excited that you are a Black woman who is running, and you are running specifically in Colorado's first congressional district. So let's jump right on in.
Let's
You
do it.
have, oh, go ahead, go ahead. Because you know what? I should have asked, how are you doing today?
Such a loaded question. You know what? I'm doing great. I'm energized. I'm
Yeah,
excited. I feel good about everything. I'm tired. I'm hungry. All of the
listen.
candidate things. But
All
I'm
of the
good.
candidate
I'm good.
things. Yes. Well, we are happy to have you, and we won't keep you long, so you can get to maybe some rest and a bite to eat. I hope. But just jumping into your background, so you have a wide ranging background, right? Like from naval officer to small business owner,
Yep.
as well as advocate. You're someone that helped change the cannabis laws at a time when communities of color were being disproportionately targeted and impacted
Yep.
by the war on drugs, and might I add, completely left out of this industry. So how has all this shaped how you look at and prepare for this opportunity in government, and the work that you'll do as you take this seat?
So when I think about all of this, right, and putting all of that together, for me, it's all been the exact same thing from the very beginning. And what do I
Mm,
mean by that?
yeah.
I mean that it's been service to the government. I mean, service to America as a naval officer, right? And I was the first Black woman commissioned through the Naval ROTC unit at the University of Colorado Boulder. And back then, there were 3 women in a battalion of over 200 people, right? So when you look at that, and I didn't know that I was the first Black woman until I ran for regent, and somebody at the battalion happened to ask me, they're like, "Are you the first Black woman?" And I'm like, don't know. We researched it and I was. But when you're going through those things, you're there and you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're opening doors and you're talking about things and you're fighting for what's right. Same with becoming the first African Americans legally licensed in America to own a dispensary, an edible company, and a cultivation facility. Look, to me, that had nothing to do with cannabis, right? What that had to do with was mass incarceration, the fact that the Black and Latino communities were being targeted for mass incarceration, which was what? Slave labor. So, once again, service to America, changing how we treat people, treat humans, because slavery is wrong no matter where you're doing it. It's
Yeah.
just wrong.
So you just talked about being the first Black woman in a few different lights, and along your career path and your professional path. How important is that, though, to have that legacy and to carry it forward and to be an example for others coming behind you, essentially?
So, great question. Being the first, if you're not busting down the door, if you're not breaking it down so that it stays open,
Yeah.
then you have wasted the opportunity to be a first. Honestly, and I'll be flat out honest, there's really nothing worse than being an only. The only woman around the table, the only Black person around the table, the only, woman or Black person in a room, because it means you're a target. Make no mistakes, you're a target. So if you have the I don't know if it's a privilege or an honor or or a condemnation to be the first, then your job is simple and it's to make sure that that door remains busted wide open and even bigger because if you're the first, you damn sure can't be the last. So for me, that has been you know the battle cry of my entire existence in my professional career since I was 18 years old and I'm proud of it.
Yeah. Bust that door down and
Bust
then
it. Bust it.
put the
Bust
door stop in it, put a chair to keep it open, do whatever we got to do to keep
whatever
that
you got to
door
do.
open to usher
Yep.
folks in with
Yep.
us, really alongside us, because it doesn't always have to be after we're gone. It can also be alongside too.
That's
So,
an important point. It has to be alongside, and I don't want to transition this, but
no,
exactly
it's
what it
okay.
is that we're seeing right now in the House with the Voting Rights Act
Yeah,
and everything else, right? They're attacking us in the South. And why are they doing that? Because that's the most populous place where Black culture, Black voices, Black power exist. Why does that matter in Denver, west of the Mississippi? Because we now know that we have to pick up strong Black voices everywhere everywhere. Because if it works in the South, that means that they're coming for the North, they're coming for the Midwest, they're coming for the West, right? And we don't have the same numbers that they have in the South. So it is vitally important that we are coming in together to fight this, to fight for
Yeah.
equality. Damn it.
Yeah, like you said, alongside, or like we're saying, alongside. Is yes, we're all in different states, but it's
Yeah.
all the same, right?
One
It's an
America.
eventual thing.
Yeah.
And we would like to think that our states wouldn't act as we see some of our southern states sort of acting, but we have to be prepared. And I think preparation, like you said, is getting as many of our voices in leadership as possible. So
100%.
yeah, that's a perfect transition too to jump into policy and solutions. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to run for this seat, what you're hearing as you talk to voters, as you knock doors, as you hop on phone conversations and text messages, and what is your plan, as you have these conversations, what plan are you sharing with them in terms of how you'll impact the lives of those who live in congressional, you know, Colorado's congressional district, the first congressional district, excuse me.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a mouthful there.
No, those are important questions. And so, once again, why is this important? We've had a 30-year incumbent. And let me go on the record to say nobody should be in office for 30 years. You just shouldn't do it. Because at some point, living under that golden dome, you just lose effectiveness because you stop connecting with people, you stop connecting with new ideas, and that's not a. I mean, it is a negative, but I'm not using it as an attack on anybody. It's just human nature. It is what it is. We have got to be able to bring in new ideas, new thoughts, new leadership. That is vital to the survival of America right now. So. The reason why I'm running is because our current congressperson is non existent. Uh, CD1 is the capital city. It incorporates Denver for the most part. It's our capital city. And what we're seeing is amazing leadership from Congressman Joe Neguse,
Mm.
amazing leadership from Congressman Jason Crow. And when I talk to
Excuse me.
people, they have never seen or heard of our congresswoman, which if you're going to be there for 30 years, you should be making noise. You should be fighting for the things that are right. And in 30 years, she's passed less than, I mean, two bills have her name on it, seven have some work that she's done on it. But, that's not good enough. And when people say, well, she votes Democratic, well, yeah, it's a D plus 26 seat. Of course, you're going to vote Democratic. That's the low bar. That's the lowest expectation of what we're supposed to do. We should be sending fighters to Washington that are going to stand up to the mess that is happening in the White House, stand up to the mess that's happening on the other side of the aisles to narrow not just Black people's voices, but dear God, women's voices, LGBTQIA, the opportunity to be able to serve in the military as a transgendered person, as a woman, or even as an honored Black officer. So, I mean, these are all things that are real right now. Thank God we passed the War Powers Act, or we did a little bit of it to start to pull that back yesterday in the House. But the reason that we're at war is the reason why your prices are so expensive right now, why your gas is expensive, why your food is expensive, why you can't afford a home. I mean, these are all just basic democratic talking points that we need to be fighting for. And CD1 being Colorado's capital city in the middle of the country, man, we need a fighter. We need someone that's not afraid to speak up and, go in and talk about stuff. And I'm not just telling people what I'm going to do. I can show you what I have done for the last 30 years. And I'm already elected in this district as a University of Colorado regent. And I have been fighting for students to keep Pell Grants available, to be able to make sure that DEI stays alive, to be able to make sure that it is safe for our immigrant students to come and study in America, right? We're losing great minds from Africa, from Europe, from China, who are afraid to come here to study because they don't know what's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
Dear God, that's not my
And that
America.
is no, it's not. It's not. And you're right. We do need people to stand strongly and firmly in real values
Yeah.
and no more of the corporate and other interests that really don't serve working people. I have one last question for you, and it is a like 20-second response.
Yeah.
And that question is important. It's probably the most important one. How are you taking care of yourself in this campaign? Because it is all encompassing. It's a lot to run. We thank you for running, but how are you taking care of yourself so that you can continue to run?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really important question. The real answer is, 15 day or 20 days out from, the primary, I'm probably not doing a good job of it. But what I do have, I am so surrounded by an amazingly loving husband. He is my ride or die, my 24/7. He brings me food. He makes me stop. He's like, hey, come have a cup of coffee. Give me 10 minutes. You know, we have, and he's sitting right here with me, an amazing 220-pound Great Dane who is, I mean, he's like my person, right? And, he comes to me every day and literally nudges me away. He's like, walk time. Let's go. We're going for a walk. You know what I mean? And it's just those little things to be able to take away and to remind yourself, go walk around your neighborhood. Go, spend some time with your dog. Literally, go smell the roses. My husband took me out the other night because there was that beautiful blue moon. He was like, you know what, babe, come here, come here, come here. We're just gonna stand here. Go look at this moon.
Yes.
So there are those things in the world that you find joy with. But yeah, but then you go back to the grind. And like I said, I'm hungry. I'm tired.
Listen, I do want you. You might not be able to take a nap, but I hope after we talk that you go get a bite to eat. Okay, maybe tell hubby to come and bring you
Right,
a plate
right,
or
right. Give
something.
me
But
some ribs.
thank thank you so much, Regent Wanda James, who is running. You are running for Colorado's first congressional district. We wish you all the best, and we thank you so much for being a Black woman who leads.
I love you guys and thank you so much. So appreciative.
Absolutely, thank you.